is history. I'm going to read this statement and know that it has been compiled by all of us because we want to send a message directly to William Samoei Ruto. Directly to him. Crooked Ruto is responsible for the illegal abductions and killings. Today, we stand in solidarity and empathy with all the families here and those who did not make it to come for their sons and daughters who have been abducted and have disappeared. It is devastating for a family and friends when a loved one disappears. Yet this is a harsh reality facing Kenya today. I myself am very touched by the plight that has been going on, and more so because Bob Jage and the Longman twins came to visit me in Kamkunji after I was illegally arrested by the police. They were abducted after visiting me. This is 3 weeks now, and they have not been seen, notwithstanding a lot of the court orders. So this is a direct affront to some of us personally. Your pain is my pain. We are sounding the alarm. We are on the edge of an abyss and moving speedily in the wrong direction. We must wake up and collectively demand for truth, accountability, and justice. Many times it is said that if it happens to one, we keep quiet. It happens to another, we keep quiet. Eventually it will land in each of our doorsteps. We saw this during the abductions of so-called terror suspects. We've seen it over the years. But because there is a security team that tells us that it's for our benefit, we keep quiet. Today they have extended it to people who have been peacefully demonstrating in this country. Abductions is becoming a way of life. Extrajudicial killings, a way of life. This is not the Kenya that was envisaged even by the makers of the new constitution. The terrifying illegal abductions, enforced disappearances, and extrajudicial killings in Kenya remain a state strategy to spread terror amongst us. The feeling of insecurity and fear it generates is not limited to close relatives of the abducted or the disappeared only. It affects each and every one of us. Illegal abductions and enforced disappearances violates the right to life, liberty, protection before the law, and protection from other cruel, inhumane treatment and punishment. Abductions victimizes the families, relatives, friends, and victims and survivors like we have here. We have a young man here who was abducted all the way to Maragua. He'll tell you his story. Abductions are a gross violation of the international law, including the Rome Statute. Abductions are kidnapping. Please understand, the state is kidnapping people, kidnapping Kenyans. They are a crime against humanity. Family and friends of people who have been abducted and disappeared experience slow mental anguish, not knowing whether their son or daughter, mother or father are still alive, not knowing whether he or she is being held or how they are being treated. Searching for the truth put whole families in great danger. There are some families we wanted to visit. I myself directly, with my deputy Willis Otieno, and I can tell you those families are afraid. They want to meet us in private because they are afraid that the attention we may cause will victimize them. No order or instruction of any public authority, civilian, military, or other, may be invoked to justify a form of abduction stroke kidnapping to enforce disappearance. Any person receiving such an order or instruction shall have the right and duty to not obey it. Article 26 of the Constitution of Kenya guarantees every Kenyan the right to life, specifically stating a person shall not be deprived of life intentionally. Article 28 and 29 of the Constitution provides the human dignity, freedom, and security of the persons, which includes and not be subjected to torture or treated or punished in a cruel and inhumane manner. The Inspector General of the National Police Service, under Article 245 of the Constitution, must exercise independent command of the police. We have seen what is going on. You have an IG who stands up and says you can demonstrate. It's in the Constitution. 2 days later, he's chasing everybody from the streets and his officers are shooting. Who is giving him those orders? The IG is constitutionally required to ensure the police operate with the highest standards of professionalism and comply with constitutional standards of human rights and fundamental freedoms while performing their work. In exercise of the command of the police, the IG has the constitutional responsibility to ensure that the officers commit to protect the right of life of all Kenyans by adhering to the Constitution. President William Ruto took oath and swore that he will truly and diligently serve the people of the Republic and the Republic of Kenya. He will diligently discharge his duties and perform functions in the office of the President while doing justice to all in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of Kenya without fear, favor, affection, or ill will. President Ruto, and I say crooked Ruto, the crooked man, took oath and swore to faithfully bear true allegiance to the Republic of Kenya and will obey, observe, protect, and defend the Constitution of this country. And he will protect and uphold the sovereignty, the integrity, and the dignity of every single Kenyan. That is an oath you are swearing to God before 54 million Kenyans. Regrettably, today it can be confirmed that crooked Ruto has not only violated the Constitution of Kenya, but has contravened his oath of office. He has become a constitutional delinquent. For the avoidance of any doubt, if any of you have any, crooked Ruto is solely responsible for the abductions, enforced disappearances, and the murders of young Kenyans, Gen Z. He has turned his police force into a political militia. Kenyans must never forget William Ruto's history. And Kenyans will never forget what he's doing to us today. Crooked Ruto is hypocritically mocking, laughing, and demeaning the abducted, disappeared, and murdered sons and daughters of this country and their loved ones who are painfully crying daily. The only crime they have committed is exercising their constitutional and democratic right to peacefully and unarmed demonstrate on the streets in our country. We will not yield to Crooked Ruto's tyranny. We will not. Because to yield is to advertise to all those that have fought for the democracy that we have today, starting from 1920. We are telling them that we have succumbed to the will of tyranny. William Ruto will not take us there. He is no different. When you look at that man, read the history of people like Pol Pot of Vietnam, Adolf Hitler. Read the history of Amin Dada, who was just next door to us, Umar Bashir, who created atrocities in Sudan. He is no different. It's not a man to glorify. That is a man to feel shame that he represents this great country called Kenya in any position. Finally, I wish to assure the abducted, the disappeared, and their families here and home, you shall never be forgotten by Kenyans. Ruto may forget, may ignore, but we will never forget. You are the true freedom fighters of our time. You are the heroes and heroines of this country. Forgetting you is rejecting our own identity. Forgetting you is to renounce the meaning of our life. Forgetting you means that we do not even love our own families. We will keep the memory of our abducted, our disappeared, our murdered. Forgetting them is allowing Crooked Ruto to achieve his goal of erasing our loved ones from this earth. We are going to continue demanding justice. We shall relive their memory as we do. The abducted, the disappeared, the murdered shall live forever in our minds, in our hearts, and etched in the history of this country. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
What's your name?
My name is Barack from the City Voice. The president recently said that he is not aware of any subject, and should there be someone who is aware of such a case, should provide the names to PS Kumon. Have you and your team done?
You know, Crooked Ruto has a big problem. He seems to be delusional. The information is in public domain. The media has over and over stressed names. Are you telling me he does not listen to the media? He doesn't watch TV like all of us? If he was true to the oath of office that he took, he doesn't wait for people to submit names. He would have already set up an inquiry with the allegations that are already there. He should be informing us what is going on. The only reason he is doing that